The IRS wants you to play by their rules, and they've spent millions and millions of dollars on special psychologists so that they can write letters that invoke the maximum fear response so you end up doing the wrong thing. And you've probably gotten some of those letters that are like, you better pay up and you're in the wrong or we're going to nuke your dog and eat your lunch. And it is easier sometimes to play by the IRS rules, but it doesn't mean you have to. See, when you get a letter from the IRS, it's actually connected to the Internal Revenue Code. That's Title 26 of the United States Code. And in the code, it says you as a taxpayer have 30 days to respond to most of those letters. Now, what you may not know is there's different hierarchies of law. The bottom part of the law being kind of common law, trust law, penal code. The top laws being agricultural law and uniform commercial code. In the middle is sort of civil code and the Internal Revenue Code. Now, companies like the Internal Revenue Service, which have regulations in the U.S. Code that limit them, are stuck sort of in a single part of law, which is the Internal Revenue Code. But you're not stuck. I'm not stuck. And I can invoke any level of law I choose, including a level that's higher than the Internal Revenue Code. I can invoke administrative law. I can invoke the Uniform Commercial Code. And in so doing, I can say 30 days, okay, but I'd rather have 14 days and you kind of have to comply. And as a citizen, you can choose whichever law you want that is beneficial to you. Now, for the most part, you don't have to do this because there's so many benefits and so many loopholes in the Internal Revenue Code to protect you as a taxpayer. And the IRS doesn't really want you to know that. But on top of all of that, you can choose levels of law that are even higher than the Internal Revenue Code. And if they don't, then they're in commercial dishonor, and that gives you remedies that you otherwise wouldn't have under the Internal Revenue Code. And in that, you can have prima facie evidence overturned, your evidence stronger than theirs, and a whole bunch of other good things that are in your favor. So when you respond to an IRS letter, don't listen to them when they say, oh, you have 30 days to respond. You should probably respond within 3 days, which is sometimes difficult to do, but never more than 14 days responding to a letter. And in so doing, you can invoke the administrative law, which would then demand that they respond in 14 days. And if they don't, things tend to go better for you. Invoking administrative law and determining the time that you want the IRS to respond is available to us when dealing with government organizations or corporations that have regulations in the United States Code, like the IRS. Now, if you're in the wrong and you don't have the evidence to back up your situation, then it kind of doesn't matter what kind of law it is. But if you're trying to negotiate for a resolution that's supposed to be in your favor, this is one of the great ways to do it.